All right, welcome back. Meet the Candidate. Martin Falls back here in the HTV studios, the Lorraine Falls studios, with Beau LaGrange. Of course, he's running Henry Beau LaGrange, I want to say. Everybody has a first name with the nickname. So he's running for State Senate District 21. And congratulations for making it into the next round.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure, and I was humbled by the support I received in the primary, and I'm running hard and looking forward to the runoff.
Yeah, let's talk about some of these. First of all, a little bit about yourself, because for people, especially who vote in this area, who might not know a lot about you, just tell them a little bit about yourselves, then we'll get into some of the issues.
Okay, sure. I'm a lifelong resident of Patterson, Louisiana. My family is from St. Mary Parish. My parents were self-made, self-employed entrepreneurs and grew up in the business and learning, responsibility and hard work. And graduated from Patterson High School, graduated from Louisiana State University, came back to Patterson and worked with my father in land development business for about 8 years. And in 1990, I went to work for St. Mary Parish government. In 96, I was appointed as the Chief Administrative Officer and served in that capacity for the past 27 years, recently retired at the end of April. And I'm proud that I was able to connect with the people and serve under those 5 parish presidents who put their trust in me over and over again.
Yeah. Let's by the way, Patterson had some pretty good football teams. We used to face them at Vanderbilt quite a bit. So what you played, line, huh?
Yes, sir. Played tackle, offensive, defensive tackle, and had some great games against Vanderbilt over the years, and not only football but also in basketball.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I still remember some of those guys jumping out the gym too.
Yes,
pretty good athlete. Let's get to some of the issues. One of them that is always off the radar is the opioid crisis. We see so many people with the South Central Human Resources organization. We see so many people in the area councils dealing with this, but it's important that they keep getting the funds and they keep getting the monies to put out and educate people. What would you do if elected to sort of maybe add to that?
Sure. The opioid crisis, as you know, there was recently a huge settlement in the opioid, and there's funds that are being allocated out to the state and to local government areas to provide those services or enhance the current services that we have, whether it's counseling, treatment, prevention, education. And proud to say, in my role as CAO of St. Mary Parish government, one of our departments was a Fairview Treatment Center and Clare House, which is inpatient treatment, which included opioid abuse as well. And these funds will enhance those areas of treatment, and this whole region, I think, will help address the issue and provide the law enforcement some resources that they would need, and the professionals such as South Central Louisiana Human Services Authority, with all of the various programs and facilities that they operate in this region.
Yeah, let's jump to insurance. People are struggling. They can't make their mortgage hardly, more or less, the insurance rates that are going up. We're past the crisis level. We're at the throw the life ring kind of level. What kind of voice would you have in Baton Rouge? New governor, new insurance commissioner?
Yeah, and to be in Baton Rouge, I would look forward to that challenge, and to come up with the programs needed to, number one, entice more insurance companies to come in to bring competition, but at the same time, make sure that we're holding their solvency requirements in check, so that we don't have a situation where these insurance companies are declaring bankruptcy and the state is left holding the bag with all of these claims, which are taking forever to process. So I look forward to that challenge to bring in more insurance companies. And also on the flip side is to educate the insurance companies on what the citizens are doing and the locals are doing to enhance their structures to minimize the risk to the insurance companies, such as the fortified roof program and other building codes that have been put in place. And if we do that, I think we can put that increase in check and hopefully bring the competition in to have some reasonable insurance rates again.
All right, let's do this because I only got a minute left of the first segment. We'll toss that into the second segment because I don't want to cut you off in the middle of an answer. So we'll take a break on this segment. When we come back, we'll have segment 2. Once again, we have Mr. LaGrange, Henry LaGrange. He is a candidate for State Senate, District 21. We'll continue our talk with him right after the break. Don't go away. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Parabon General Health Systems, modern technology, and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights. South Louisiana Bank, it's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. All right, welcome back. We appreciate you joining us. We're with LaGrange, and he is a candidate for State Senate District 21. You would see him on the ballot as Henry LaGrange, so I want to make sure we say that because it looks different when you're looking at it.
Definitely.
Yeah. We've talked about a lot of things, but let's jump to the legacy lawsuits. I'm sort of getting a feel from all the different people. You're out there campaigning, and you're hearing different things. There's been a lot of activity in the courtroom when it comes to legacy lawsuits. If elected, where would you stand on that?
Yeah, great question. The legacy lawsuits are something that I do not believe that government should have been involved in to go against the oil companies. I get it, there's coastal erosion issues that have taken place due to oil and gas exploration and production. But those issues should have been corrected at the time the permits were issued or the exploration and production was finished in those areas along the coast. I also get the idea that, as landowners, private landowners, also want to protect their land as well. So, but I'm not for expanding the opportunity to file lawsuits against the oil and gas industry because we are an oil and gas state. I think we always will be. Main economic engine especially for District 21 in our region. Proud to say that, as CAO with St. Mary Parish government, we voted against filing any lawsuits against the oil and gas industry, just as Terrebonne and Lafourche did as well. And I think that was the right thing to do. Matter of fact, there were several occasions where there may have been even to accept some type of settlement, and we voted not to even entertain that, and told the state if that's what you want, then you get the settlement and you decide how you're going to use the money.
I guess the next question, I'm asking a budget question.
Sure.
You've dealt with budgets. I mean, you've been dealing with budgets for 5 parish presidents, and you probably know it like the back of your hand. You could be dealing with much bigger budgets in Baton Rouge. What do you think you could bring to Baton Rouge with your knowledge of budgets, and where do you think you would be most proficient in doing that?
Sure. My experience of 27 years of preparing, managing, and administering, the St. Mary Parish budget, $35+ million, which is, a drop in the bucket compared to the state budget. But I think having that experience and knowing how the departments come together to put those budgets together and knowing what the priorities are and what kind of funding is needed, I think I'll bring a keen eye to be able to know what's fluff and what's actual needed, good use and spending of our taxpayers' dollars to provide the needs of the public, especially in infrastructure and public safety.
Mm-hmm. Sort of expound on that, because CPRA, we're going to be losing monies. However, on the FEMA side, we'll be gaining a lot of money. So what would be your voice there, and what are some of the projects you'd like to see done with some of that FEMA money that's going to come in? It should be quite a chunk.
Yeah. I'm always been a proponent of good infrastructure projects, not just build something to build it, but good infrastructure projects that's going to provide either great transportation or enhanced transportation for goods and services, flood protection projects that really do good flood protection or hurricane protection, and of course drainage projects. We're always looking to enhance and improve our stormwater drainage systems throughout. So, those areas are what I would hope and focus on to spend that FEMA money to put it to good use and to enhance our area.
We always talk about local, and you've been local, St. Mary, and all the people on the council here that are now running for a state office, they would always say, people say, what about our roads? Well, that's a state road. Well, now everybody's running for a state position. It's your road now, so you have to own it. But, traveling these roads, not only is it treacherous to travel them, but it beats the cars up. So a lot of people are spending more money on tires, on alignment, on other kind of things. So I guess fixing that has been put on the back burner. Now, if y'all are elected, y'all faced with getting the job done.
That's correct. And, again, that goes back to spending the money wisely. And as I said, priorities should be in transportation and public safety. And, as the chief administrative officer, that's what I've focused on, is road improvements every chance we could to use our money wisely, because we had limited funds as a local government. But also on the state roads, you have to have DOTD focused on doing those maintenance and regular maintenance and overlays and improvements. You have to pursue whatever federal monies you can get in to leverage your state dollars as well. And that would be my focus going forward.
All right, let's do this. We'll move that minute to the last segment again. Once again, we are with Henry LaGrange. He is a candidate for Senate in District 21, and we will come back and have our final segment with him, ask him a few more questions on what he would do if elected for you, the citizens, when he would get to Baton Rouge. We'll be right back. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Parabon General Health Systems, modern technology, and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights. South Louisiana Bank, it's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. All right, welcome back. We're with Henry LaGrange, a candidate for State Senate District 21. Do people pronounce it both ways? LaGrange, LaGrange?
Yes, both ways, LaGrange and LaGrange.
Nothing is incorrect, right?
That's correct.
All right. Wanted to make sure. I always tell my crew, the name is the most important thing, but people pronounce, this is a perfect name. You can pronounce it either way. Yeah, no doubt. Let's talk about the seafood industry. You go to a restaurant or you go buy seafood at a store, they're supposed to mark it. Supposed to let you know if it's Louisiana waters, you know. Some people don't. I don't even know if they get a hand slap. The lieutenant governor told me on this same desk he has yet to see a fine issued to people that break that law. I think it's so important to keep our people whole. It's an industry that's dying. It's hard to compete against that imports. What would you do to help that?
Sure. First thing we have to do is reiterate to the agencies that enforce our laws as far as the branding of if it's local or foreign seafood. And we need to make sure that they step that effort up. And I would support even additional funding to make sure that happens, because we need to protect our local fishing industry. There are many just shrimping in particular, from Terrebonne, then to St. Mary, Iberia, over to Lafourche. There's still some good shrimpers here, but they're barely making it because of the influx of the foreign shrimp, and the processors a lot of times are not offering them anything for their shrimp because there's such a glutton of the foreign shrimp coming in, they can't compete.
Yeah, let me ask you this, because Mr. Lieutenant Governor Nungesser told me also that he wants the monies to enforce the fines. He said because it's not getting done. But isn't that the problem, that some of these organizations or some of these boards that are supposed to levy the fine, I don't know, I don't want to accuse them unfairly because I'm not in their shoes every day, but shouldn't there be a focal point on that to make sure that you break the law, you got to be held to the letter of the law?
I totally agree that, we should set a certain standard of what is a violation and what is the extent of that violation, and fine and penalties. And if there seems to be some doubt or some gray area that is being used at this point, we need to look into that, and we need to make sure we address it, and then whatever vehicles we can use in the legislature to get those agencies to drill down and be more specific with those fines and penalties, so that everyone has an even playing field and they know this is what's going to happen to you if you're not in compliance with the law.
Let's jump to medical, because after COVID, after Hurricane Ida, our medical institutions took a hit. Nurses retired. COVID wore them out. So we're sitting here with institutions all over the place, and a lot of your district impacted too. What would you do to make sure, and I've said it on other shows, when you lose a medical facility in a city, pretty much write that city off, because it is so core to a city. When people are moving in from another area, where's the nearest hospital? So without that, the city sort of implodes from inside. What would you do? What kind of voice would you be for the medical industry?
Sure. I think we're very fortunate here in our Senate District 21. We have some excellent hospital facilities, medical facilities, to serve our public, especially in the more rural areas, to provide that service to the underserved and unserved and uninsured populations as well. So that is definitely something that is one of the main lifebloods of a local community. Small town, small community, you have to have a steady, thriving, hospital and medical professional range of medical services for your constituency. And we dealt with that at the parish when companies were looking at St. Mary Parish to move in. That was one of the things we made sure that we brought them and made them aware of the medical facilities that were there. And so I would continue to make sure that, health care is at the forefront and one of the major principles that we foster in the legislature to continue to fund and make them grow and prosper.
Nicholls State University, Fletcher, all just institutions that we need here. We need them to keep prospering, not just survive, we need them to prosper. What kind of voice would you be for them?
Sure. Go Colonels. My wife is a graduate of Nicholls State, and I spent a lot of time, at Nicholls when we were courting. But so I have a lot of friends and relatives who also attended Nicholls, nephews that attended Fletcher. So very well aware of the value that they bring, the great job that they bring, and in education and how they go about it. I've always been impressed with that, and so, that's a huge, in itself, a huge economic engine for our region as well. To have a sustainable Nicholls State University, a sustainable community college like Fletcher, to have the opportunity for our citizens to come in and enhance their careers and get started on their careers through those facilities.
Yeah, real quick, we got about 1:40 left. New governor, knew a lot of people, It's going to be newly elected positions all over. What would a closed-door meeting with the new governor be like with you?
Oh, good question, man. Well, first of all, I congratulate the governor and Governor Landry. I've been knowing Governor Landry since he was an aide for Senator Craig Romero way back when, and so we've always had a good relationship. But it would be to just to discuss his initiatives, things that he wants to accomplish, but also take the opportunity to let him know the needs and the strengths of District 21 and what we can do to help the state and what the state can do to help enhance and strengthen District 21. So that would be the main focus of my conversation with Governor-elect Landry.
All right, Mr. LaGrange, or LaGrange, depending on where
There you
you're
go.
at. Good seeing you again. And like I say, I remember those Patterson Lumberjacks. They had some good
That's
talent
right.
and some good teams. But thank you for joining in the race. I'd like to thank everybody who's running. Takes a lot to do that. And enjoyed having you up here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, there you have it. Henry LaGrange, he is running for State Senate District 21. Just a reminder for everyone, go out and vote. It's a chance for you to go and have your voice heard. They're saying low voter turnout. You can maybe prove them wrong if you go out and vote. Let's take a short break. We'll come back. A lot more on Bayou Time.